So today we're going to take a deep dive into a real-world software engineering challenge and solution and how it all went down.
Yeah, specifically in the world of ERP systems.
Yeah. So if you're like me and always trying to level up your knowledge in the most efficient way possible, this one's for you.
Totally. And it's all about user experience. So we're zeroing in on a specific enhancement request for a split container screen. And we have Premalatha, a software engineer at Tiana Solutions with 2+ years in ERP.
She's the one who actually implemented the solution, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And from what I understand, she's worked with a variety of ERP solutions, right?
Yeah, she's got a ton of experience handling different scenarios, reports, data management, even customizations, like a lot of customizations.
Yeah.
So we're talking over 150 base screens and 5 profile screens.
Wow. Okay. So she's definitely seen a thing or two when it comes to ERP.
For sure.
All right, so let's set the scene here. We've got a custom screen with a split container, right? One side is a form and the other side's a grid. Okay, so for example, a customer selects a specific customer in the form, and then all their related information, like invoices or sales orders, populates in that grid. So far, so good.
Yeah, that's the basic setup.
But then here comes the problem. Sometimes, some customers, they have a lot of sales orders.
Oh, yeah.
Way more than what can fit on a single screen. So what happens?
Well, you end up with a ton of vertical scrolling.
The dreaded scroll bar.
Exactly. And for users, especially those dealing with large data sets, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, you're constantly scrolling up and down trying to find the information you need. It's so inefficient.
And frustrating. Think about it. If you're going through a ton of orders, you're more focused on the scrolling than actually analyzing the data.
Right. You lose sight of the bigger picture.
Exactly.
So naturally, the customer wanted a better solution. They asked for a page-based navigation system, like the classic next and previous buttons we see everywhere online.
Right, like flipping through pages instead of this endless vertical scroll.
Yeah, they actually called it a page next view format at UI level in their request.
Okay, interesting.
So how did Prima handle this?
Well, she went in and modified the logic at the ASPX level.
Okay, so she's working directly with the user interface code.
Yeah, basically replacing that default vertical scrolling with a page next previous functionality.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, the core functionality of the grid remains the same. It's still displaying all the relevant information.
Right.
But now, instead of one long, continuous list, it's broken down into manageable chunks or pages.
Exactly. And once the number of records exceeds the page capacity, those navigation buttons, forward, backward, start, and they all appear.
I actually saw a screenshot of the updated screen. It's night and day.
Ah.
Where there used to be this daunting scroll bar, you now have these neat little page navigation controls.
And I bet that visual cue
Yeah.
alone makes a huge difference for the users. Like, okay, I can actually get a handle on this data now.
Absolutely. So Prima delivered the changes in a package. The customer tested it out, and they loved it. It completely solved their problem and made their experience so much better.
That's awesome. I mean, it seems like such a small change, but when you're dealing with tons of data, those little things can make a world of difference.
Right. And think about the impact on their productivity. No more wasted time endlessly scrolling. They can actually focus on what matters, the data itself.
It also shows how important user feedback is in software development.
Oh, absolutely. This whole case really underscores that.
Like Prema and her team at Tiana Solutions, they're dealing with tons of scenarios, hundreds of reports, customizations, you name it. And it's all about making these complex systems work for the people who use them every day.
I think it's so easy to overlook the impact that UI design has on our day-to-day lives. Like even something as simple as a scroll bar.
Totally.
But when you have a well-designed interface, it can really streamline your workflow and boost your productivity. It makes you wonder how many other areas of our digital lives could benefit from this kind of user-centered design.
A lot, probably.
Yeah.
Food for thought, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's all about making those complex systems more accessible and user-friendly.
And that's where experts like Premalatha and companies like Tiana Solutions come in, right?
Yeah.
So for anyone out there struggling with their ERP system or looking for ways to improve their user experience,
Definitely reach out.
reach out to Tiana Solutions. They clearly know their stuff. All right, that's it for our deep dive today. See you next time.
See you.